Greetings and salutations, I'm the Raven. Chances are I'm sounding a bit off. I'm playing on a new week and trying to figure things out. Long story, you're not getting this here. Okay, joining me is Smols.
Hello, everybody.
Ladymage.
Hang on, I'm pulling on this. Uh-oh.
Okay, another part of resistance has just disappeared. London.
The juice is loose! The juice is loose!
Who let this juice loose? Let me use. And
It was the moose.
finally, and definitely not least, StarprincessHLC.
Anyone got a Bloody Mary?
Mary keeps complaining.
Damn it, you beat me to the joke.
Anyway, it's time for me to step back for a bit so I can actually play for a change. So we go for the DMing board. DMing wheel, turn, decide who's going to play this.
Make a spurn.
Make a spurn, yes. Click, 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 click. Matt Mercer, not on our budget. Okay, the guy who works for Wizards of the Coast, Chris Perkins, hell no. Nothing really against him, but I just don't like his style.
Why did you put Jeremy Crawford on there?
Why did you put any of these names on there? How the hell are we supposed to get them? None of us have any connections to them.
I think
3 raccoons in a trench coat? What the hell?
God damn it, Raven!
Okay, the really one I'm questioning is that big red dragon who threatened to eat me unless I put his name on the board. Right, moving on. Oh, he's stopping. He's stopping. He's stopping on Charlotte.
Oh, good, because the next one was 3 cats in the trench coat.
Oh dear God.
So, yes. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to this session, and I will fully admit that this session came out of an idea I just had on a very bad whim of a joke. But I actually managed to fit what I think is a semi-fleshed out, decent session out of it. And I hope everyone enjoys this. So, everybody, Raven, who are you playing today?
Today I'm playing, thanks to a bit of a questionable week, I am breaking up Anthill Snark again. Admittedly, since Okasan isn't here today, he won't be the victim of his snarkiness. So it's probably going to be Cyrano instead.
Okay.
Can I just confess that out of all of your characters so far, I like working with Snark the best, personally?
Oh, that's just questionable.
So you all are... What are you guys doing anyway? We will start with Yuki. What's Yuki been doing today?
To be honest, she doesn't really know where she is anymore. She's just kind of letting Cyrano push her in the direction of where she's going.
And speaking of Cyrano...
Everything's fine. Here, I brought you that extra rare steak you wanted.
It should still be alive.
When you went to go get the extra rare steak from the kitchen, they informed you that this was the last one and they didn't know when they'd get more.
Oh no. This could be problematic. Is there a problem down with the local Butchers Guild?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you guys are about to get called in on it.
Why us? I'm not even part of the guild. What's happening?
You hang out with them enough. But before that, what's Magpie been doing today?
She is training with her 2 swords with Badger to try to get better with them. So basically, she's kind of in combat mode for a second.
And then what's Snark been doing?
He's been hiding away in his workshop. There's been a bit of a debacle when he was repairing Snorri's still. He improved it. He tried to make it explode less. Snorri didn't take kindly to it. That and he's getting a bit more mail for the family. They're still blaming him for what happened at the wedding.
Fair enough. So a call goes out over the intercom. 1 Group 68.5 and 1 Antil Snark, please report the Guildmaster's room. Repeat, 1 Group 68.5 and 1 Antil Snark, please report the Guildmaster's office. Thank you.
Well, guess I'm not needed here.
No, don't leave me alone!
Well, I guess I'm absolutely needed here.
She's clinging onto Cyrano's leg as they're going.
Well, this is a thing now. Guess I'm taking Yuki to the Guildmaster's office.
Badger, we're gonna have to cut training short. Sounds like they need me and my team.
It is not.
Yes. Same time tomorrow?
Busy with new recruits.
Alright. I'll see when you're free then. She heads off to the Guildmaster's office.
And Snark will luckily leave his workshop, peers around the corner, goes around the other corner, listening for the sound of a wheelchair, and then dives on the corridors.
Okay. You all know where the office is, so once all of you get there from your respective points, his administrative assistant ushers you into the office, where you see him with standing in front of his window with his arms behind his back, and you can hear him tapping his foot. Once the door closes behind you, he slowly turns, looks at you, and goes, "Okay. I'm giving you something that should be easy for you guys. Have any of you seen the state of our kitchens lately?"
I've noticed that there is a lack of steak, which I'm sure is absolutely fine.
It isn't just steak. It's pretty much anything anyone would actually eat around here. All the basic fruits, vegetables, meats, dairy, everything we've been getting very short shipments of from the local co-op. They are complaining about theft. I don't know what to think, so I want you guys to go down there and do a little digging and see what you can, see if you can get our supply chain back up and running.
Did they give any details on why they think it's there?
It's kind of scattered reports from a couple of the people that we sent down to talk to. Something about the warehouse just doesn't stay as full as it should be with as much food as they're loading into it. And we are not the only people they have a contract to split food with, so our shares have been getting lower and lower, and presumably other people's shares have too. But we couldn't really confirm anything with the 2 or 3 people that already went out there to talk to them. So I'm going to send you guys because you guys have a penchant for actually solving problems like this.
Boss,
Yes, Snark.
why me and not sleep well?
Well, have you seen Sleepwell in the past few days?
I can't see you really seeing anyone in the past few days.
Yeah, he hasn't been here.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
Don't really know what he's doing either. He just said family business last time I saw him. And speaking of which, if you guys get a chance, you might try talking to him and see what's going on with him, because he's not been himself lately.
Who has it been?
Honestly, from what I've heard, he's been closer to you than he has been himself.
Well, as long as he's not the mongrel. Has anyone seen that guy lately?
And I haven't heard any reports of his bumbling around here.
Huh.
And his room has not been... Well, let's just say people aren't putting in daily complaints about the smell coming from his room.
Huh.
It's hard to imagine, but yes, the burning that happened to his room did seem to be an improvement on the smell.
Yeah, remember, we've tried that before, and it only took about 2 days for the smell to come back previously. I can only assume he's been gone too.
We got a few mysteries going on, but let's solve the food mystery first, since you can't really think on an empty stomach.
Up the co-op, you should know where it is by now. It's been a pretty standard place for us to travel to pick up supplies. It's about, you guys know, it's about 1 day's travel away from here via carriage. And the guild has several carriages that will head out that way and take you there.
Alright, losers, I see you with a carriage. I'm off to get my suitcase. The snag just leaves.
Okay.
Ty nods and is like, I'll get my equipment and set up and head out to the carriage myself. Yuki-san, you coming?
I believe we are coming along for this grocery adventure.
Oh, Magpie, thank you kindly, sir. We'll get it done. Promise.
See to it. And with that, he turns around and starts looking out the window again.
There are too many people in the car park just lingering around. Boys, send him a message. Why don't you send him a message? I can't stand here looking ominous.
What's a car?
The car park?
Magpie would be asking that.
No.
Because cars don't exist in this universe yet.
I mean, we had the buggy.
Yeah.
They did have a war machine.
Yeah.
Didn't
but that only
Okasan,
works-
didn't the mongrel ride a worm for that?
I drove that car. I drove that down that worm's back, not Okasan, alright? That guy's proud of that, damn it.
Okay, so we're going to cut to the chase here. Say everybody made it to the carriage. The driver just kind of nodded at you, made sure you were headed out to the co-op, because drivers have been filled in on the situation ahead of time. And you all get to travel there, and it's a fairly well-established safe route, so you just kind of do what you're going to do in the carriage on the way there, unless you want to do anything specific. And in the day, you arrive at the co-op. It's about noon-ish when you arrive. So you can look around the co-op. Have all of you seen what a typical farmer's co-op looks like?
Kind of.
Isn't it like a
I've seen
giant
farmers.
marketplace?
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
is.
say,
It's kind of like depending on the place, you'll have several large storage buildings. You'll generally have a couple of general store type things, and you'll have several stalls full of, fruits and vegetables and, non-easy to expire produce, that type of thing.
Okay.
You'll have some eggs around. You may even have some live chickens and some live pigs in sections. But basically, just imagine a bunch of farmers gathering up all their crops, bringing it here, storing a fraction of it that the group, would actually be distributed to the co-op, and then getting to sell the rest there. That's basically what you're looking at. So when you get there, you see several people with, lunch bags and pails and all that, and because it's around noon, some are digging into lunch, some are still manning stalls. You see a few people walking around basically with clipboards, tallies. So what do you do?
Whatever we're doing, Snarker spent the last 10 minutes just hopping around, getting into his suitcase armor yet again. He just never seems to ever find good moments to get into it before we arrive. So whatever they're doing, they've been probably being distracted by the sound of banging as he's hammering bits and pieces into place, because he never gets that fitting right.
Is going to start just asking around about prices and availability of products in general, just to sort of get a vague idea of if something is amiss, if there are perhaps products that are being sold secretly, surreptitiously, under the table.
Okay, and who are you asking?
I'm like not asking specific questions, I'm just kind of schmoozing in general.
Oh, well, he has a fox clinging to his leg the entire time.
Well, he has a fox clinging to his leg the entire time.
Okay. So, in general, you get a couple of different stories, because you're going to have a couple of different viewpoints here. While you're chatting up the farmers that are manning the stalls, or salesmen, they may not be farmers, but you can assume they're farmers.
Mm-hmm.
You get the notion that the co-op has been demanding a lot more food from everybody lately. And the farmers aren't completely sure why, because harvests have been pretty much on par with previous year's harvests, so they're not exactly skimping on the amount of food bringing in. When you get to talking to the people manning the general store, they say, yeah, there's a little bit of a supply issue, because when we go into the warehouse to get the goods we're going to sell here, it always seems like we're down about half our stocks on just about anything we care to look at. And if you ask the people walking around taking tallies, they say it doesn't make sense. They cannot make any sense whatsoever out of it.
Mystery disappearances, huh? Interesting.
Right now, if you are talking to them, roll an investigation check.
Oh, righty.
Okay, if I roll 1 too, because Magpie's just observing, but she may notice something if she's investigating.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Minutes don't count. What's your bonus?
4, so 24.
At this point, that doesn't learn you anything new.
Okay. I did learn why kids like the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, are you kidding? That's a DC 40 at this point.
Oh god, okay.
Oh god, yeah, I got a 25. I got like 1 better than Sai.
Still short. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think any of us can roll above a 40.
Well, that's for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It is deep arcane lore.
Yes. The other one is a bit more reasonable, but you're still going to need a really good roll to actually figure it out.
The highest I can get is 27, so I doubt it.
But that's just for now. Okay. However, what you have deduced with that roll, you didn't learn anything new, but what you can deduce is that it doesn't seem like anyone here, specifically, is acting shady about the whole situation.
So everyone's on the up and up at least. But what could be taking away half of the stock the farmers are sending?
Perhaps they have a pest infestation, but I feel like they'd notice evidence of that.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's a giant onion.
A giant onion.
Well, yeah, maybe there's a mutant that's coming from like a local dump or something.
You know, with how these jobs with us usually go, that actually wouldn't shock me.
A giant onion, some unspeakable abomination made of bunnies, headed up by a deranged druid. No, we did not manage to put him down yet. Hell, it could be a load of your rat folk friends who had also just popped into this realm like Whisper did. Yeah.
Whisper did nothing wrong.
Agreed on that, but I think what Snark means is like people from where Whisper is from might have come.
Whisper's from Whisper.
Whisper is from a delightful place called Dusk, and I don't think any of us want to go there.
Yeah, I've heard.
Whisper did what he needed to survive. His brothers in arms apparently are a bit more willing to do what is needed than Whisper is. So maybe me have another incursion of that folk, we may have something else. Hell, Yuki may be right, we may be dealing with Jack mutant onion, we will have to get through the layers too.
Do the crops disappear? Because half of the warehouse is a lot.
Perhaps we can find someone in charge to give us more information.
That's easy enough to do. There is a warehouse foreman.
We look for him then.
Okay. He is in the warehouse in basically an upstairs office that has oversight over pretty much the entire warehouse floor. And you notice this warehouse is massive. It is a very big warehouse. And you can see this foreman up in his office. Looks like he's been just shouting into the heavens all day.
I think I know out of character what happened to the stuff in the warehouse. You didn't.
I didn't what? I didn't what? I don't know what you're talking about yet.
Hang on, I'm gonna send you a DM.
I just see the innocent smile on Sirot's face, like I didn't do anything wrong. Innocent grin.
And in game, Snark is going to test the acoustics of the place by yelling, Okasan is a dumbass.
It echoes very, very nicely, I'll say that.
That's the good stuff.
I'm not saying anything to you yet, yes or no, because it's more fun if you think this is and it isn't.
Magpie is going to look around to see if she sees any signs of some sort of weird vermin or thievery or that sort of thing more in the physical plane first.
Okay. So, what I want... Roll me another investigation roll. This one... Yeah, investigation seems like it'll work for this.
21.
Okay. As you're looking around, you notice several small pairs of footprints that just in general, they don't seem to be too out of place, except for the fact that they're all going to a large empty spot on the floor. You can see several footprints leading to and from this one little empty spot on the floor that's about 20 feet wide.
Hey, this is a little on the oddball side. Can I cast Detect Magic on the spot?
You can.
I will. I have cast it.
You detect nothing.
Damn it. Okay, so it's not a fairy ring or anything weird like that.
So the spot itself is not magic.
That's actually very important data, yes.
Snark is going to investigate the footprints to find out what they look like. Are they booted? Are they naked feet? Are they humanoid?
They are naked feet from... Well, you can tell they're naked feet, but give me an investigation roll for any more information than that.
Well, that's a 9.
You can tell they're naked feet from something that is presumably bipedal.
Information we have.
Well, we possibly have another incursion of that bug.
And as you all are shuffling around down there, you hear a voice come from the office. Hey, what are you lot doing down there?
We're here to solve your problem, you dumbass!
Yeah, that. Only more, last words of dumbass. Yeah, we're just investigating to see what's happening to your stores, sir.
Who sent you?
Cervantes!
Yeah, figures. About time he sent somebody that might actually figure something out, I hope. Yeah, the last group he sent didn't figure out anything. It just kind of left here and left me with more questions than answers.
Who were they?
Yeah.
They're just a couple low-rank messengers from the guild, basically. The guild didn't actually send investigators. They just sent somebody to ask questions and say, hey, why is our supply down?
Well, we still don't really have answers, but there's this funky spot on the floor with footprints coming to and from it that we think might be tied to it because it looks a little out of place, sir.
You see him get a quizzical look on his face, and he bursts out of his office, sprints down the stairs, and goes and looks at the spot you just pointed out and goes, "There's nothing here."
I know, there's nothing here and I didn't detect any magic, but these footprints don't seem right because I'm pretty sure all your workers wear shoes.
Do you mean this?
Yeah, health standards.
Do you mean there's nothing here, as in there's nothing here as the hole in being here? Taking it all the way to Stalkers, guess there's nothing here as you don't see a hole here.
Yeah, I don't see anything there. It's just a bare spot on the floor.
So that's what puts him into the hole.
There's no hole there.
It's like literally just like a piece of floor. That's what Magpie's found.
Yeah, it's just footprints leading him to and from this one spot on the floor.
That's why I did detect magic, because the first thinking from Magpie would be, is this a fairy ring? Fairy rings would admit magic. It didn't admit magic, so she knows they may not be involved in this.
Okay,
Question.
listen, guys. I've got no proof, so I can't go arresting anybody. But there's been this new client we got that has been acting more than a little shady with us, if you know what I mean. He doesn't seem like he's quite on the up and up with us.
Well, that's sort of a lead, too. Do you have his information? Well, their
Yeah.
information?
He just sends a couple of goblins to give me a list of things he needs, and it never seems to be a whole lot, but he's trying to pay us as much as any other person, but he doesn't seem to want a whole lot for it. Which you would think would be a windfall, but given what's going on, it feels just a little suspicious.
Yeah, I can see why you're a little on the, what is going on side.
Because you
What?
see this warehouse and you see how everything's within arm's reach right now? You see how you don't even have to reach up too far above your head to get to the top shelf of food? This thing, we usually need ladders to get to the top.
What else can you tell us about this new client?
Like I said, I don't think I've never met the guy. It was all handled through my assistant. But yeah, apparently he just sends goblins out to get a very small stock of food. And so far he's been showing up, the goblins have been showing up with the money.
Are the goblins the one who pick up the food?
Yep.
Are they supervised when they pick up the food?
I do not know that. I've never actually been here when those goblins have come by.
When
Is
do
your
you usually come by?
Generally it's right after I get off work, so evening.
Is there somebody here at that time?
Well, yeah, there's always somebody here. If at nothing else, usually we've got the night watch for the warehouse, but I'm about to fire them because where's the food going? They don't know what it is. Maybe the night watch got corrupted or something. I don't know. Look,
Sir?
my ass is in a sling over here. I got a bunch of people angry with me. I'm going to have to start making heads roll if something keeps getting worse.
Sir, can I ask you 2 more questions before we, figure that out? What time does the food tend to disappear, and is your assistant around? Noting that they handled the, deal with the shady person.
Yeah, the assistant usually leaves a little bit after I do, and right now, we can never figure out what time the food disappears. When it started happening, it was in the middle of the night, apparently, because the night watch said they would come by, do their check. But when the morning watch came in to relieve them, they would do their check and we'd find stores missing. Well, eventually, that started happening in the middle of the day, too.
Perhaps something's being left behind.
Well, we know the
Interesting.
footprint. We know the footprints are. So we got 3 leads. Those goblins, which would lead us to the sus person. We can ask the assistant a few questions because they may know more than us. And one of us maybe should be sticking around in the warehouse and watching things.
So, where's your assistant right now?
It should be in the main general store. She should be just right now doing inventory in there.
Would you be so kind as to talk to the assistant?
Say that again?
I was addressing that to the party. Would one of you be so kind to talk to the assistant?
I now talk to the assistant. He then just wanders off. Turns back.
Okay.
Turns back a moment. What does this assistant look like?
Would be kind of a useful question to ask.
My assistant's an elf wearing, I believe today, wearing a blue suit. Fairly tall, kind of close cropped blonde hair. It's hard to miss her in that store.
I'll be back in not a jiffy. He then wanders off.
Okay.
You can hear him.
Does anybody in here want to do any more digging around, or should we cut to Snarks?
I'll take a look at the footprints and see what I can tell about them.
Okay.
So, investigation?
Investigation.
That would be a 15.
Okay, you can definitely tell that these are barefoot. And definitely a bipedal humanoid. And you can also tell they're very small footprints. Goodness.
They're also
Get a
apparently
drink
very
here.
dusty for the DM.
I'm trying to think if any other stats would apply here. But yeah, they're small, small humanoid footprints.
Interesting. Could be goblins, but could be something else, I suppose.
Is why are they leading to and from this particular spot? It's not a portal or anything.
No, I would imagine it's not.
Magpie kind of taps her foot on it to see if like anything happens, just idly.
Let me roll something real quick.
Okay, apparently Magpie may have found something.
It just, when you tap your foot on it, it just sounds perfectly like any other piece of the floor. Sounds like it, feels like it. For all intents and purposes, it's basically just another piece of floor.
Okay, this is getting weirder by the minute, even though the floor seems normal.
Perception check when you did that.
Okay. 23.
What you noticed when you tapped it, you noticed some. You couldn't make any sense out of them because the flash was too brief to detect, and you can't really see it that well. But you noticed there might. It kind of looked like there was something scratched. There were some scratches that looked a little bit too orderly to be just random.
Okay, either I'm going completely bonkers, or I think I may have temporarily slightly activated something when I tapped it. Actually, I just realized Magpie doing that with her foot was a very bad idea because she wears boots of silence. All the floor sounds the same.
And it was nothing.
Yes.
Something that looks like scratches, almost like someone put something there.
Basically, but I couldn't tell for sure, and I kind of forgot for 2 seconds that my boots are silent, so any hollow noises I ain't gonna hear. Because the whole floor has
tap.
For some reason, you suspect Snarky's about commenting about the edginess of your head.
Something doing that, so she still has weight.
So, are we going to do anything else in the warehouse?
I think Sai was tapping the spot because Magpie mentioned that she forgot her boots were silent.
Sai is absolutely tapping that spot with his boot.
It's still, as far as you can tell, it's still just a chunk of floor.
So it's not hollow. That confirms that.
Yuki jumps off of Sai's leg and starts digging at the spot.
It is concrete, so you're not going to dig too. You're not going to get too far digging.
Doesn't stop Yuki.
Scratch. Anything else need you tending to?
Yuki and Magpie can have a spa day later.
Yuki, go ahead and roll me a perception while you're down there digging.
Okay. $24.
Okay, your superior sense of smell? You definitely smell goblin.
There's been a goblin here.
A goblin that
Multiple goblins. It isn't just one, it's multiple.
Many much goblins.
So, that confirms the footprints are goblins, and somehow the goblins are coming to and from this spot and swapping food, probably. She's just looking at Sai and Yuki like, okay, what the hell do we do with this information?
I believe we need some more information. Perhaps Snark will bring us something interesting from when he talks to the assistant.
Will he bring blood?
I'm sure that there's some meat around here at the co-op we can find you.
Right.
So, I assume we're ready to switch over to Snark.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. So, Snark, you make your way over to the general store. And as the foreman told you, there's indeed a person walking around, an elf, in a suit, checking inventory.
Truth be told, I was expecting to find 5.
Say that again?
Truth be told, I was expecting to find 5 of them just to be interesting.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And the woman is very engrossed in actually counting how many watermelons are on this particular shelf.
Hey.
She snaps out and goes, "Yes, what? Who are you? What do you want?"
I'm from the Shining Light Guild or Shining Light Guild, depending on which version of the phrase you're seeing. We're here about the food disappearing problem.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I'll probably got about half a dozen or so questions for you, if you could spare a moment of your time.
Well, this is a rather large problem for us, so yes, I can spare some time for you. What do you need to know?
Okay, we're here. You are the one to leave after the boss leaves. How long do you hang around for? Do you see if any of the goblins who come for their order, do you see them come, or do they arrive after you? If they are arriving after you, why are you not sticking around for supervision purposes? And we'll start it out.
Yes, our new client, I assume. I assume our foreman told you about them.
Yes, he did.
Yes, well, I do stick around specifically to catch their order. For some reason, the goblins only show up at dusk. We've been asking them to try and conduct their business a little earlier in the day, but they've been rather reluctant to change up their schedule, said it messes with their boss's schedule. I have not seen their boss yet.
Do we have a name for their boss?
I was not the one that handled the contract, and I could not read the signature.
Where is the contract?
It's stored away in the foreman's office.
I'll have to check that out later.
But the goblins show up with a small cart. They give us the money so far every week. They've paid the full amount, and yet they only take enough to say make maybe one dinner a week when they come by, so it doesn't seem worth it, so they are a little suspicious to us.
At this point, Snyder's just takes off his helm. No, well, not very much, Mike. I don't think I heard that right. You're saying they only take enough for one meal a week?
That's about the amount they take. They come by, they'll take 2 or 3 eggs, 1 stalk of celery, 1 cluster of celery, maybe a couple of pork chops, maybe a couple of ribs. It's just a very small amount of food they take with them.
And about these goblins themselves, how do you say they look? How do they dress? What is their attire like?
Their attire is quite horrid, really. Little more than a waist strap and a loincloth on them most of the time.
Ah, come on, cousins.
Not to mention the orc that usually accompanies them is, shall we say, not exactly the most pleasant person they could work for.
You know what's happening.
Ah, possible outlanders. So, they come with a cart. How big is the cart?
It's big enough for 1 goblin to push. It's about the size of a wheelbarrow, really.
They come with a wheelbarrow. a number of goblins dressed in not much. They have a orc boss. They take only enough for one meal, and then they clear off.
Yep, that would be it. And every week, their payment is promised.
What's their tender like?
Those are your standard gold coins that we use in pretty much everyday transactions.
So it's just the modern legal tender, that's all stuff that has been robbed from a bank, robbed from a tomb, or just some piece of gold.
They're just standard minted coins. And if they have been robbing a bank, we haven't heard of any banks that have ended up being robbed lately in the area.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'm going back to your foreman.
Well, good luck figuring out what's going on. I have to get back to work now.
If I have any more questions, I'll be back.
Very well.
Stark moves to walk off, does a double take, grabs his helm, sticks it back on again, then as he leaves. Must be something, what the hell's wrong with me? Losing my own head if I've got schooled on today.
And she's already back counting watermelons. So I assume you returned to the warehouse and informed the group on what you've just heard?
Oh, you delightful people who love to miss my life in terrible ways. Found the assistants. We have outlander goblins with a wheelbarrow for a cart, taking enough food for one meal for one person. Apparently the boss is an orc with ill manners. The assistant sticks around to make sure things go accordingly, and the foreman has a contract that I think we need to have a look at.
Maybe we need to have a look at the contract, and maybe we need to see when these goblins and this orc arrive, just to see if we can get the measure of them. Because I have ideas, but observation would be the best tool that we have. Isn't that right, Yuki?
What?
We clearly need more information, and perhaps the only way to get that information is by observing.
The foreman just kind of goes, that makes sense. Hang on just 1 minute. And he trundles back up to his office, rifles around through his cabinets.
While he's doing that, Magpie's kind of looking around the warehouse to see if there's any place where she could hide to observe in secret, because she doesn't think they're going to appear if they think somebody's actually watching them.
It's your standard warehouse, so if you can get up on the catwalks, you could probably lay on your side and be very hard to see.
What's Magpie's class again? I think she can do that.
Yeah.
I'd hope you could do that.
Plus, the catwalks are not impossible to reach either. There are ladders up there.
Perfect.
Because they I mean, they have to perform maintenance on the roof, so they need easy access to the roof. So, you know, they've got a structure in place to handle that. So while you're scanning, the foreman comes back down with the contract. And it's the standard co-op contract made by the co-op itself and signed, and you can only make out because it's a basic signature, it's pretty darn illegible. You know how people get with their signatures.
Me.
But you can make out two fairly tall letters. Go ahead and roll investigation.
All of it?
Anybody that's looking at the contract.
Okay.
Snatch have a look.
Magpie is looking. She hasn't climbed up yet.
Sai is distracted because that's a 6.
15 for me.
I got a nat 20.
I got a 13.
If you rolled everyone that rolled let me just roll. Above an 11 can make out a P and an S on the signature.
Please ignore that maniacal laughter.
I don't think it came across, so.
I heard it at least.
Well, yeah, you would. You're in the room.
Well, I'm in the other room, but yeah.
You're in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So someone with the initials of P and S.
Okay. So, we've learned that it's been, what, close to an hour?
Yep.
Yeah, close to an hour. So, I think this marks a good stopping spot because you guys are getting ready to plan.
Yep.
Oh God, we're planning. We are so doomed.
Plot, 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 plot.
Yes, they do themselves a nice garden. Anyway, as I said, this is the end of the first part of session 29 of this this one of the Smols, and folks said session structure is not structured for me today apparently. Anyway, until next time, be good, be well, and catch you next time. Yeah.
Take
On
care.
the catwalk.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.